Welcome to Earth, the harshest survival game in the universe, where most of human history is giant empires swelling up, swallowing small countries, and then exploding from overeating. Some nations are so unlucky their spawn point is right at the crossroads of death. Sandwiched between superpowers, invaded time and time again, wiped off the map. But by some weird main character plot armor, they refuse to log out of the game. Today, let's open the stat files of the top 10 most stubborn nations in history. The people who turned warfare into an extreme survival sport. Located right on the Silk Road, Georgia is like the toll booth that every Roman, Persian, Arab, Mongol, and Russian empire wanted to smash through. Their capital, Tbilisi, has been flattened, burned, and rebuilt 29 times. Peace ratio. Probably just enough time to wait for the cement to dry. Their survival secret. Enemies smash, they rebuild, and then sit drinking wine, laughing at the enemy. Rebuilding faster than the speed of destruction. Right next door to Georgia is Armenia. Their entire history is a series of days being tossed back and forth as a buffer zone between giant empires. 2,000 years of partition and the tragedy of 1915 almost wiped them out completely. But they were the first nation to adopt Christianity 301 AD. Their unique alphabet and fierce faith are the superglue holding them together. Enemies can take territory, but no one can take an eraser to erase the alphabet and culture from an Armenian's brain. The unluckiest nation in the Middle East. Population 40 million, but not a single centimeter of national border. Their historical territory chopped into 4 pieces: Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Syria. Over the past 100 years, they haven't had a single true day of peace. A proverb says, the Kurds have no friends but the mountains. Betrayed time and time again, they rely on rugged mountains to survive. Their female militia fighters are the terror of terrorists. Stripped of a state, they turned themselves into a fully armed underground nation. Late 19th century, European powers carved up Africa like a pizza. But Ethiopia was the slice that broke the Italian Empire's teeth. Time spent as a colony, 0 years until right before WW2. Emperor Menelik II played a genius move, buying modern weapons first. When the Italian army swaggered in with guns in 1896, they froze seeing the Ethiopian army 4 times larger, standing on steep plateaus, also holding sniper rifles. Welcome to Africa. Once the cradle of civilization, Greece got beaten up, annexed by Rome, then, worst of all, 400 years enslaved under the Ottoman Empire. Just imagine for centuries ruled by an empire of a different religion and culture. Assimilation rate should be 100%. But the Greeks said no. Orthodox monks secretly taught the alphabet and history in dark basements. After 400 years of laying low, when the chance came in the 19th century, they ripped off their disguise, rose up like reborn Spartan warriors, and kicked the enemy out. A giant empire crushed time and time again, flattened by Alexander the Great, invaded by Arabs who changed their religion. Cities plowed by Mongol cavalry. But Persia played a mind-hack tactic, reverse assimilation. Instead of swords, they used massive culture and art. The invaders of Persia, after a while, suddenly wore Persian clothes, ate Persian food, wrote Persian poetry, and ruled using Persian systems. Enemies were sucked in like a sponge and forgot their origins. If you want your empire to collapse and go bankrupt, pour your army into Afghanistan. The peace ratio here is just a few years of coffee break too. Reload ammo, waiting for the next empire to arrive. Alexander the Great cried. The British Empire suffered humiliating defeat. The Soviet Union bled in a 10-year quagmire. The US spent 20 years and trillions of dollars only to pack up steep mountains, endless caves, and extreme independent spirit. They just hide in caves and snipe until the superpower runs out of money, goes bankrupt, and goes home. Physical resistance, max level. With over 2,000 years of history, the time Vietnam truly lived in complete peace without gunfire is estimated to be only about 300 to 400 years, meaning 70 to 80% of their existence. They were busy fighting invaders, from northern feudalists, Mongols, to France, Japan, and the US. Enemies bring armor and napalm bombs. They bring guerrilla warfare and underground tunnels. When cornered, the entire nation from elders to children turns into warriors. Plus, the tropical jungle specialty. Speaking trees, shooting bushes. Invaders in Vietnam don't get discouraged by bullets. They go crazy from jungle mosquitoes and bamboo spikes. On the map, Poland is an unlucky slice of cheese sandwiched between 2 giant slices of bread. Germany and Russia. The biggest pain. They were carved up and erased entirely from the world map for exactly 123 years. The survival champion of history. Lost their homeland since Roman times, exiled worldwide for 2,000 years. Massacred in the Middle Ages, survived the Holocaust. Real peace ratio. Don't bother calculating. Since founding Israel in 1948, war is their breakfast. When you have no land for 2 millennia, the only thing enemies can't rob is the brain. They poured everything into education, religion, and community cohesion. You can burn a house, but you can't burn knowledge. The revival of the State of Israel after 2,000 years of erasure is the greatest comeback in history. History teaches us that the most powerful weapon of a nation isn't nuclear bombs or tanks, but stubbornness and the refusal to surrender. And you, if you were handed a survival card and thrown into the past, which team would you want to join most? Comment below. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video.